Ow!
Yeah. How are you?
I need the key to Yezhek's cell.
So Sir Radzig let him have his way in the end. He should have let me beat some answers out of him.
No wonder he doesn't want to talk to you.
Just try not to mess it up. Here's that key.
Thanks.
Good luck, then.
Yeah.
What's he?
Cucumbers! Lovely cucumbers! Asparagus and prunes!
God save you, Henry. Well, finally, I've had quite a wait.
Why do you want to talk to me, of all people?
You brought me here. You should consider it an honor.
If hanging around in a damp dungeon with a condemned man is your idea of honor...
You're not seeing the bright side. You can be the one who uncovers a conspiracy against the king for your master. You don't get an opportunity like that every day. It did cross my mind, though, that it might be nice to get some assurances for my cooperation. After all, I'm the one the Margrave unjustly declared the scourge of the land and expelled from Moravia. They even pulled my beautiful castle down. It was the necessity of making a living that forced me to take some liberties.
Do you really want to question the authority of the Margrave?
I've always been loyal to the crown, but what can I do when the Margrave stole my fief?
That's not why we're here. I don't care about your conflict with the Margrave. It's your crimes against the king I'm worried about. The king you say you've always been so loyal to.
Very well, ask me anything you want. I won't be obstructive.
What I want to know most of all is who's behind it. Who are you making those forgeries for?
Do you think I couldn't have handled it all myself?
I'm not trying to insult you. It's just not a job one man could do alone.
All right, the way it began was I was short of coin, as usual. So I let those crimps in Sasau recruit me.
Recruit you into what?
I didn't inquire too much. In this business, you don't ask too many questions. But when they found out I wasn't just anybody, they put me in charge of the counterfeiting. A foreigner by the name of Eric gave me instructions. But for sure, he isn't the chief. And there's someone highly placed at the monastery who's mixed up in it too. But I don't know who.
How did you come to hear of all this business?
I met some old friends in Colleen a few months ago, and they said they were heading for Sasau, that armed men were being recruited, and they'll hire anyone.
Old friends? Who were they?
Just a couple of brigands. We used to ambush the Margrave's messengers in Moravia together.
Nice friends you keep.
I was in dispute with the Margrave. A man in my position finds himself mixed up with all sorts.
And then what?
Rapota and I had been living off stale crusts for a month, so I wasn't going to turn down the chance of work, honest or otherwise. We rode to Sasau and met with the recruiters. It didn't take long to realize I was a nobleman fallen on hard times, not some common peasant.
Can you get to the point?
Well, they introduced me to this Eric, and he told me what was needed. They set up the workshop, got the men, the supplies, everything.
Crimps? You're telling me this Eric is recruiting armed men in Sasau?
Well, it seems so. I was giving the recruiters some of the coins to do it. The fake ones, of course.
Where can I find the recruiting gang?
That's tricky. It was my friends who led me to them. We met with them in the woods next to Sasau. It's about who you know, as always.
You said you gave them money. Where was that?
They'd ride to the mine gallery to see me. I don't suppose you'd find them there now.
If you say so.
This Eric, you reckon he's not the one in charge?
He puts on airs, but he's just a naive young pup. And he's always going on about his lord, though he never mentioned him by name.
Where can I find this Eric? You must have had some meeting place.
He used to come to the workshop unannounced. And after what's happened, I doubt he'll be showing his face there again.
This highly placed person at the monastery, what can you tell me about him?
I've no idea who he is, only that he's no small fry. After all, he handles the exchange of the forgeries in Passau.
I see. Is there anything else at all you can tell me about him?
No, he was supposed to supply me with materials too, but he backed out. Eric said he probably got cold feet.
That'll do me for the moment.
Will you put in a word for me with Sir Radzig? I'll swear allegiance to him if he'll have me. I'm sick of being a renegade.
I can try, but I can't promise you anything.
Henry, I'm glad you...
Vegetables, fresh vegetables. Look, now,
Yeah.
aren't they lovely?
The people!
Yeah.
What it...
So what have you learned?
All sorts of things.
There's some foreigner called Eric behind the counterfeiting ring, and someone highly placed at the monastery.
The monastery? Really?
That's what Yezhek claimed.
So it's worse than I thought. If this is true, we'll have to proceed with the utmost caution.
Why? Can't we just go to the monastery to investigate?
No. If the church is truly involved, I have no authority.
So what will you do?
I'll have to think about it. It won't be an easy nut to crack. I'll have to consult with Hanush. And what of this Eric? Who is he?
I don't know, but he's recruiting armed men in Sasau and forming an army.
Damn! So it looks like Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it.
It most certainly wasn't, sir. And what's more, Sir Yezhek is convinced this Eric is only a go-between, and there's someone bigger behind him.
You should return to Sasau and take a closer look at those recruiters. If they're going to attack, we must find out sooner than last time.
It might not be as straightforward as that. So Yezhek didn't know them and has no idea how to find them.
You'll have to manage somehow, my lad. Don't tell me there's an armed force amassing here and nobody knows anything. Go to Sasau and try to find them.
Oh. I know Miller Simon at the Sasau mill.
There you are. Millers usually know what's going on behind the scenes. Go there and talk to him. Whatever you do, be careful, Henry. And best not mention my name. It would attract unwelcome attention. What we want is for the crimps to take you for just another village lad they can lure into their gang.
All right, sir. I'll try to blend in as best I can.
I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I know of no one else who could help as much as you can now.
Sir, there's one more thing. Sir Yezhek went with me without resistance, because I promised him he could come to an agreement with you.
My boy, my boy. You make promises in my name? That could turn out very badly for both of us. But, if it can prevent bloodshed, why the hell not? We may well come to some arrangement after all, but I can't say yet what will become of him. You'd better run along.
As you command, sir.
Ah!
Did I tell you about my wife?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the hell was that? Clear off before I have you thrown out. God be with you.
I've got some goods here whose...
All right. See you later.
Listen, have you heard of any recruiters looking for men in Sasau?
Aye.
And? Where can I find them? And will they speak with me?
And what do you want with them? Never mind. Listen to me carefully. Tomorrow night there'll be a light in the Sasau church and the door will be open. Go in and start praying Our Father.
And how will that help me with the recruiters?
That's what the prayer's for. Just wait until the church is lit up at night. Kneel before the altar and they'll find you. Got it?
Of course. And thank you for the help. The Lord will repay you.
Goodbye.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
How are you doing? Feeling better yet?
Aye, much better. I'm truly grateful. A bit longer and I'll be able to run back to the woods and carry on. Well, never mind. Very kind of you to look in on me.
Truth be told, I didn't come just for your help.
Save.
What do you need?
Well, I've heard tell there's work for fearless men who enjoy a bit of silver.
Ah, I believe I can help you with that. They used to frequent the tavern, but now they meet in the church.
The church?
Aye, that's right. The church is locked at night, but if you see a light, the door will be open. Go in there and wait. Say a prayer or something, and then you'll see.
That's it? I don't need to speak to anyone?
Just doing what I told you is enough. They'll give you a good look over and see if you've got the metal. Don't you worry about that.
All right, thank you.
You took care of me, why wouldn't I help you? Tit for tat, eh? God be with you.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
God save you, Henry.
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in
Amen.
heaven. What?
So, you've been looking for us, eh? What is it you want?
I hear you're hiring men who don't mind getting their hands dirty.
Is that so? And where did you hear that?
Taverns and the like. People talk.
Well, that's a pretty tale. But no one in any tavern told you to come here and wait, did they? So let's have it. Who told you?
I don't recall his name, but he was one of your friends. He said that he couldn't take me straight to you, that I had to go through the church.
He was right about that. But he still said more than he should have.
I know my way around. You won't go wrong with me.
Spare me the boasting. I've got a test ready for you. Let's see how you handle it before you tell us how wonderful you are.
What test?
Nothing complicated. We used to take anyone who looked like they could keep their head on straight. But not now. Now you can only join if you do what we tell you.
Which is what? Steal something?
Nah, not theft. If you want to join us, you have to kill Pius.
Who's Pius? And why should I kill him?
That's none of your business. But I'll tell you anyway, because it's an instructive tale. Pius was one of us, but he fucked up.
How? Did he steal something?
Yeah, that was part of it. Stole some money, ran away. A few boys died over it. Showed a distinct lack of loyalty. And as soon as he's dead, you can join us.
I'll have to find him first.
You don't need to find him. We know where he is.
Then why haven't you killed him yourselves?
It's quite a test. He's hiding in a monastery.
With the stable boys? It's not hard to get into the grounds.
No, not there. Well, he would have been dead long since. He's in the, cloister, or whatever it is.
But only monks can get in there.
Just monks and Pius. He's an educated bastard. Seems he used to be a priest, but it didn't quite work out.
And how am I supposed to get into the cloister?
You'll think of something. Maybe there's a secret passage. I've heard there's some cave underneath. The cave of St. Procopius. There might be a way into it from outside.
And do you have any other ideas besides secret passages?
Well, there is this one fellow been hanging around the taverns. Supposed to join the monastery soon. Might be he could help you somehow. I'd try talking to him if I were you. And if he doesn't help, knock him on his ass and take anything he's got that you could use to pass yourself off as him. A letter of admittance to the monastery, or whatever.
Murder someone in a monastery? Have you gone mad?
Murder's a sin as it is. Doesn't really matter where you do it.
Yes, it does. I'd be spilling blood on hallowed ground.
Well then, knock him senseless, drag him outside, and finish him off where it's less sacred. I don't give a damn where you do it, just as long as he ends up dead.
And do you have any other test?
We're not hiring stable boys. We want men who are prepared to do anything. And this is the toughest task we've got.
So how many men have you already sent?
Just a handful.
And what happened to them? Did they hang?
Just the first one. The others turned tail. Guess they didn't have the stomach for it.
How will I recognize Pius?
He won't have been there long. He should be the only new one there.
But what if there are others? What does he look like?
Normal. He always went about well dressed and had a fine looking dagger.
Yes, except he'll be given a robe and they'll take his knife.
Then you'll have to try and figure out which one of the novices it is, and get him to betray himself. Try getting him drunk. Then send him straight to hell.
Get him drunk? In a monastery?
We're better. There's more wine there than in the royal cellars, and I doubt he's suddenly stopped drinking.
Fine. So I've got to kill Pius. He's in the cloister, and to get into the cloister, I'll need to enlist the help of some boy who's joining the order, right?
More or less. And now the main thing.
The main thing is to kill him, isn't it?
Of course. But that's not all. All hell's gonna break loose in the monastery after the murder. So, either make sure nobody finds him, or hightail it out of there quick as soon as the job's done. But better if they don't find him right away.
And what else? Should I come back here afterwards?
No. Before you run for it, take his special dice and bring it as proof that you killed him. And if you can get him to tell you where he hid the coin, bring that as well.
Bring his dice and the money if I find it. And where should I bring it?
From the monastery, head east across the river. There'll be a swamp where you'll find a fire pit. Go there at night and light a fire. Make it nice and big and we'll show up. Take the dice and the money, and then tell you where to report. Got it?
Right, I'm to slip into the best guarded place in the entire region and kill someone. Take his dice and money, and then go to the swamp and wait by the fire.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Well, you can at least say a few Hail Marys for me. I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
And remember, we'll be keeping tabs. So don't you try to run off, alright? Goodbye.
Hey, all right there. Show me what you have on you. Are you deaf?
What's going on?
For security.
That's all well and good, but don't bother me.
All right. Keep your head.
Be off now. You don't belong here. Come on. What are you doing here? God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
Sir, this investigation into the Neuhof massacre, it's getting a bit complicated.
What have you found out?
I tracked down a gang of robbers who recruited killers for Pribyslavitz. They know the Horsons who torched Neuhof.
That's excellent news. Did you find out any more?
So far, not much. If I'm going to infiltrate them, I have to do what they say. That means murdering one of their former cronies, a fellow they call Pius. Apparently he was at Neuhof too.
You have to kill a criminal to prove yourself to them? Huh. I don't much like the sound of it.
That's not the worst of it. This Pius is hiding out in the monastery pretending to be a novice. I'd have to get inside the cloisters to get at him.
Good God above, that's another matter entirely. They don't let just anyone into the cloisters, and the abbot won't give up any of the novices. Secular law has no jurisdiction inside the monastery. But this is the second time that something untoward has happened there. First the counterfeiters, now this. I'd be glad to have someone take a look inside.
What should I do with Pius once I find him?
Don't kill him. Bring him to the bailiff in Rattay. He'll interrogate the man and give him a fair trial.
It doesn't sound like an easy task, sir. Getting into the cloisters, finding Pius, and then getting him to the bailiff.
Far from it, lad. But I have confidence in your abilities.
It seems like the only way to find Pius is to join the order. Damned if I know how, though.
A bit of meditation and learning would do you good. If it's really the only way to get to him, then you'll have to do it. I'm sorry I can't be of much help. Sadly, my relations with the monastery aren't entirely congenial. You'll have to figure something out for yourself. See you later. Hey, who's there?
Yeah.
pork, veal, beef, and chicken.
Hear ye, good people.
Parents will make you and your family happy.
God be with. See you later.
Before it goes round.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope I can.
You wouldn't be Carl by any...
No.
Good luck then.
Well, Mark. Yes, unfortunately.
Why not?
God be with you.
Damn. God be.
You wouldn't...
God be with you.
God grant.
Are there any
Nothing I've heard.
You wouldn't be...
No.
God be with you. I'm honored that you.
You wouldn't...
No. See you later. I'm glad to see.
You wouldn't...
No. See you later.
God save you.
You wouldn't...
No. Take care.
Ale for me. The first person to get it my way is going to get his head smashed in. What?
That's right.
I'll have a beer.
One ale over here, please.
God save you.
Are you Carl by any chance?
I am. Why do you ask?
I've heard that you're bound for the monastery.
Yes. Yes, it's true. But I've convinced my faithful guardian, Manfred, to give me a few more days of freedom. Mind you, he won't let me visit the brothel. So instead, I'm devoting those days to the demon drink. With whom do I have the honor of speaking?
My name is Henry.
Pleased to meet you, Henry.
Here.
I found someone's head in for a beer.
Let's have a drink.
A man after my own heart. The drink's on me. And will my guardian angel here join us in imbibing? No, he will not. Perish the thought. My dear, dear lad, what a cross I have to bear. You know, after the tavern, we should pay a visit to some whores. But Manfred won't let me. Get rid of him.
See you later. Right away. Certainly, I'll here. Just
God be
as you
with
ordered.
you.
You're Manfred, the young lord's guardian?
Indeed I am. Why?
I've been looking for you two for quite some time. I've been sent by the young lord's father with a message intended only for him.
Has my lord changed his mind at the last minute? Who are you? I've never seen you before. You look trustworthy enough. I'll leave you two alone for a little while. Goodbye.
Pour me an ale.
Certainly, I'll fetch it. Here, enjoy it.
Ale as usual.
Manfred's taken care of, just as you wanted.
Thank God. He won't let me out of his sight for a second, and he's itching to get me in the monastery so he can head back home.
Why are you being sent to the monastery?
Like every lusty young lad, I'm fond of fair maidens, but I got too fond of one, and let's just say she was, indisposed for 9 months.
But they don't send you to the monastery for that.
They do, when it's the daughter of the lord of your fief.
Shit.
Shit is putting it mildly. The lord of Bukovo was less than pleased. He knows he'll never marry off his daughter now, so he gave father a choice. Either pay him 1,000 groschen in compensation, along with my balls on a silver platter, or pay 1,000 groschen and put me away somewhere no one will ever see me again.
Why does your guardian never leave your side?
So I don't run away. Of course, I'm free to walk around, but he watches every step I take and won't stop until I'm behind the monastery walls.
Well, he's not watching you now.
What good is that to me when he has all the money, and even my saddle and riding cloak under lock and key?
Why don't you just run away?
Bare-arsed? What the hell would I do? I don't know how to work, I have no money, and that old bastard's even taken my cloak. He has me in the palm of his hand.
But there are poor people everywhere and they get by somehow.
If I have to choose between hunger and poverty on one hand and the monastic life on the other, I'm afraid the monastery wins. If I could only steal that old man's pouch, I'd be gone faster than lightning and no one would ever see me again.
What if I entered the monastery instead of you?
What? Voluntarily? You don't look like someone who'd want to spend the rest of his days on his knees praying. Well, that's your problem. You can only enter the monastery if you know how to read and write, and if you have a special writ from the abbot. That's a letter confirming they know who you are and that they've accepted you.
So you give me your writ? I'll just tell them I'm you.
Manfred has the writ. You'd have to take it from him, but he only puts it down when he sleeps.
So I'll steal it and then you can disappear.
Disappear? Bare-arsed? What the hell would I do? I don't know how to work, I have no money, and that old bastard's even taken my cloak. He has me in the palm of his hand.
But there are poor people everywhere and they get by somehow.
If I have to choose between hunger and poverty on one hand and the monastic life on the other...
That's all then.
See you later.
What?
That's right.
Cut!
Here you are.
I'd like to speak to you.
What's on your...
What if you let him run away?
The Lord of Bukovo would have me whipped.
But he doesn't want to be a monk.
I know. Unfortunately, there's no...
But normally you just need to pay some...
Yes, 1,000 groschen. But a boy would keep chasing after women. And who knows how it...
I hear you've got a writ.
Indeed, I
need it.
What good would it do you? You don't...
Yes, I do, actually. But on...
Now that's funny. I've never heard such nonsense in my life. The boy...
What if I give you a few shiny groschen for that writ?
Could you give me enough to compensate for all those years of pay I'd lose?
Thanks.
Good luck, then.
I've got what you need.
Excellent. Give me the purse. You can do as you like with the writ.
Here you are.
Good luck, no matter what you plan on doing with those monks. Best be on your way now before Manfred finds out that he's been robbed.
And what are you going to do?
Get my things together and disappear. I want to be as far away as possible before that old man even knows I'm gone. Goodbye.
There's still...
What's on your...
But he doesn't want...
I know.
But normally you... Thanks.
Goodbye.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I'm Carl. I'm supposed to enter as a novice.
We expected you sooner. Weren't you supposed to come here with your guardian? It's been so hectic lately, people will keep turning up out of the blue.
He gave me the papers and left me at the gate. You must be used to that, though. I'm not the first novice here, am I?
But that wasn't very considerate of him, was it? It's been so hectic here lately, novices arriving one after the other. The last one didn't even have a letter, and you'd think his backside was on fire, the way he kept looking over his shoulder.
You took him without the letter? You didn't find that suspicious?
My guess is he wanted to hide from someone. But he's a priest and knows how things work in the monastery, so there was nothing to prevent him from being accepted, at least temporarily. You're a different case, though. Are you able to read?
Naturally. I wouldn't be here otherwise.
So then, are you ready to enter the Order of St. Benedict and renounce forever the temptations of this world?
I am.
Then you must rid yourself of all your worldly possessions. Sell them or give them to the poor and needy or donate them to the monastery. You may not enter this place burdened by worldly goods. Inside the gatehouse is a trunk in which you will find monk's robes. Put away all your possessions and dress yourself in the habit. Then you may rest a while I go and see the prior to arrange matters for your acceptance. Take care now.
Yeah.
You mean after the Tamburg attack on the brigands' secret camp? I wouldn't expect too much of it.
No? Why is that?
There was only a handful of bandits there.
A handful? There was dozens of them. And foreign heathens, too.
Is that right?
There was a great big battle. Them fuckers filled the whole of British lands. The Tamburg garrison had to get reinforcements to beat them. There's wounded lying at Tamburg now, and plenty new graves in Ujit. They cleared the wasp's nest good and proper.
If you say so. But I still reckon we haven't seen the last of it. That citadel is still on the run. Burn them down and they just sprout up somewhere else. That's not the half of it. What about the attack on Merhoye? While the lords are dealing with one lot of marauders in Pitisade,
Now,
Lord in heaven, what have you? Lord. Get what for?
I'm Carl. I'm supposed to enter as a novice.
We expected you sooner. Weren't you supposed to come here with your guardian? It's been so hectic lately, people will keep turning up out of the blue.
He gave me the papers and left me at the gate. You must be used to that, though. I'm not the first novice here, am I?
But that wasn't very considerate of him, was it? It's been so hectic here lately, novices arriving one after the other. The last one didn't even have a letter, and you'd think his backside was on fire, the way he kept looking over his shoulder.
You took him without the letter? You didn't find that suspicious?
My guess is he wanted to hide from someone, but he's a priest and knows how things work in the monastery, so there was nothing to prevent him from being accepted, at least temporarily. You're a different case, though. Are you able to read?
Naturally. I wouldn't be here otherwise.
So then, are you ready to enter the Order of St. Benedict and renounce forever the temptations of this world?
I am.
Then you must rid yourself of all your worldly possessions. Sell them or give them to the poor and needy or donate them to the monastery. You may not enter this place burdened by worldly goods. Inside the gatehouse is a trunk in which you will find monk's robes. Put away all your possessions and dress yourself in the habit. Then you may rest a while I go and see the prior to arrange matters for your acceptance. Take care now. Damn.
Strange feeling being without all of that. I didn't realise how much I'd grown used to it.
Everything's prepared. It's time for you to take your vows.
Do I really have to wear this?
You'd better get used to it. You'll be wearing it for the rest of your life.
Brothers in Christ, we have gathered here today to welcome a new novice into our midst. Dear brother, forget your former life and embrace your new vocation in the community of the monks of St. Benedict. Opus Dei, obedientia, obprobria, the service of God, obedience, and endurance of all discomfort. These are the cornerstones and succor of our order, which on this day shall become your own. Suscipe me, Domine, secundum eloquium tuum et vivam. Et non confundas me ab expectatione mea.
Suscipe me, Domine, secundum in loquium tuum vivam, et non confundas me ab expectatione mea.
Accept your new name, Brother Gregor, and wear it with honor. Welcome, brother.
Welcome, brother. I am Antonius, a novice like you. I've been instructed to guide you around the monastery and tell you what you can expect and what your duties will be.
Thanks for helping me out during the ceremony. I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
You don't know Latin, do you? Don't worry. Work in the scriptorium will teach you fast enough. Why exactly are you here? Was it your choice? Or did someone force you to come?
I'm being punished. If it were up to me, I'd still be spending my days in taverns and my nights with whores.
I don't envy you. Unfortunately, you're here for the rest of your life.
Would you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a novice and I'm here because I'd make a poor merchant. I like books and I want an education. Although I must say, so far the monastic life's been quite unexpected.
Is it alright if we don't do the tour?
I thought that since you're literally a complete novice, you'd be interested to know what you have to do tomorrow. But if you don't want to come with me, I won't force you. Here's a letter from the prior with the daily schedule. Read it and observe it.
Let's go then.
Good. But before we do, here's a letter directly from the prior telling you all your regular duties from tomorrow onwards. Make sure to read it this evening, so you know how things work. Right, we can go now. Follow me closely. I'll explain everything as we go. Remember one word: discipline. It's your job to work and pray. You serve the Lord now, not your own bodily needs. Salve Domine. This is the way to the dormitory, where we all... Do you know the first thing the monastery taught me? To appreciate sleep. We rise before dawn every day. It takes a bit of getting used to.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
I'd like to ask, who's in charge of...
Truthfully, everyone except us. But officially, Abbot Peter. And soon enough, someone else.
I see. Are there any...
Yes. From the moment talk began about electing a new abbot, it's been like a hornet.
Tell me something about electing the abbot.
Abbot Peter is old. When he dies, they'll have to select a new abbot from amongst the brethren. The candidates are John and Nevlas. And if you ask me for my opinion, Nevlas is...
Tell me something about...
Work, prayer, as if...
What are the roles?
Someone takes care of the library, someone else the garden. The abbot supervises everyone, and in his absence, the prior. But it's the circators you should worry about. They're the brothers who'll make sure we observe the rule. They can be quite strict, so if you want to avoid getting punished, always act righteously and do your duties honestly.
Who's in charge?
Truthfully,
are there already...
Brothers John and Nevlas. But the...
This John...
A circator, and really just an unpleasant old man.
Tell me something about...
Nevlas manages the monastery's property.
Why can't novices...
They say we don't have enough experience.
Why is who win?
We're young, and we'll spend the rest of our lives here. And the abbot decides everything about our lives. Didn't it ever occur... Abbot Peter's health is deteriorating. They say he won't make it to the autumn.
Who would you choose?
Why should I even think about that when I don't have the right to vote? Gregor, don't go poking your nose into other people's business.
I found this piece of parchment. It looks like...
Who'd tear up a book like that?
It occurred to me you might be the man to ask. I'm looking for some lockpicks. Do you know...
Lockpicks? You surprise me, brother. And you, a nobleman's son. But you could ask Brother Celerius. They say he used to be a thief.
I'd like to ask...
No, Peter has a strong constitution.
This is the garden, a place for silent contemplation and meditation. Centuries ago, This monastery was founded by the most esteemed of brothers, St. Procopius. His earthly remains can be found in a cave under the monastery, and his spirit wanders the corridors at night, punishing any misbehaving novices. So beware.
Here are the frattery and scriptorium, together with the library. These are the places where we work. Ora et labora. Pray and work.
As a novice, you must always listen to your superior brethren, and above us monks are the prior and the cicatas, who punish every infraction. You'll know them by the canes they carry. Do what they say. This is the refectory, where we come together to eat. During meals, you must be silent. Only one brother reads aloud from the Rule of St. Benedict.
The Rule is the only law we recognize, with the exception of those from God himself. If you break any of its precepts, expect a swift punishment. But I've already told you about the circuitous. The library, the pride of our monastery, a trove of learning. We don't just read books here, we also copy them. You, too, will learn how. And that's all. Today you are still free from duty, but tomorrow you begin work like the others. If you need anything, ask any of the brothers. We'll be glad to help you. And I recommend you get to know the other novices. You already know me. Then there is Siskin, Yodok, and Lucas.
Thanks for showing me around. There's a lot to learn here. I need to make a confession.
I'm no priest, but tell me what you've done.
I'm here in the monastery looking for a thief. He had a hand in burning down...
You don't say. And who...
That's not important.
Why are you telling me this anyway?
Perhaps you could help me find him?
The missing thief? If I knew anything, I'd tell you, but I suppose it must be one of the novices. I've only recently heard about the Neuhof incident, nor the other brethren have been here much longer than that.
I know. Aside from me, there are only 4 novices, but still I don't know which one he could be.
3? Please, leave me out of it. And you're right that it could be any one of them. No one knows anything about Lucas. Siskin might be a lot of things, but a monk isn't one of them. And Yodok is a slimy worm. It wouldn't surprise me if he was behind that massacre. Actually, the more I think about it, the less I like that Yodok. He's a treacherous rat who'd do anything to get in someone's good books. The thought of Yodok at Neuhof sends chills up my spine.
I don't think it was him. But please, don't tell a soul what we've been talking about.
Don't fret, my friend. Your secrets are locked inside my lips.
Will you tell me something about...
There's not much to tell. I lived in Vlashim, and after my father died, I found out I wasn't much of a merchant. So I left the shop to my brother, and decided to become a monk. It's peaceful here. There's food and lots of time to read.
So you chose to come here?
It may seem strange, but I'm one of the few novices that did. I might be the only one. The truth is, the idea of spending my life in a monastery was more appealing than being cooped up in a greasy old shop.
I'd like to ask you...
Salve, be well.
I'm Gregor.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name is Neb.
That means you get to leave...
No, not at all.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm the provost of this monastery. It's my job to... But in reality, I spend all my time making sure my brother's gluttony and the construction of a new church don't swallow up the few resources we have left.
I'm interested in the...
You're not alone. Everyone's so...
Why? What's wrong with it?
Many brothers think more about their stomachs than prayer.
What sins are you talking?
The scripture says... I'm sorry, Gregor.
Tell me some...
A new abbot has to be elected once the old one dies. All the brethren can vote. When he becomes abbot, a monk spends most of his...
Can you tell me about...
Peter's wise in the ways of politics and a good shepherd, but as you've already... But you, brother, don't let yourself get involved in the...
With what?
I'm interested in medicine, and I know there's a cure for the abbot's ailment. With your help, I could find out the details.
What do you need me for?
In order to get the recipe for this medicament, a few rules will need to be broken. Now, you know, most of the brothers... I, however, think if God sent us not just... The cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library, but it will certainly be among...
Why are they forbidden?
Because they contain occult and demonic practices, witchcraft and all... It's nonsense, of course. Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna.
Where can I find...
In the library, there's a large cabinet with a lock on it. The forbidden books are inside. No one will notice if one book disappears, but if more would...
Is there anything you...
There's a key to the cabinet in the prior's chambers. The librarian should have another one.
Why can't you do...
Because I'm one of the highest-ranking monks here, and one day I'd like to become abbot.
You could just ask.
Do you honestly think I haven't tried?
I'm ready.
One more important thing. There's always someone in the library during the day. To pass unwatched, you'll need to... They say Brother Solarius understands locks, but don't tell him why you need it. We'll soon have...
I'm interested in...
You're not alone. Everyone's so worked up about that they spent...
Why? What's wrong with...
Many brothers think more about their stomachs than prayer. The older brethren bend the rules of the order to make them fit their interests. So, to balance the scales, they want the novices to lead exemplary lives. Sin abounds here, just as in the outside world.
I'd be interested to know more about Brother John.
I don't like to speak ill of people, but Circuitor John is the worst person the monks could pick to represent them. He's nothing but an old schemer and pedant who preaches water but drinks wine. He's won the older brethren over because they know he won't call an end to their debauchery.
Why do you want to become abbot?
Because when I see the way things are headed around here, I have no other option. Itinerant preachers speak of the corrupted black heart of the church, and I can't deny there's truth in what they say. I'd like to change things and bring back meaning and esteem to the monastery.
That's all.
Peace be with you. Salve. Talk to me, bro.
Is there any way I could help you?
What would you like to do? Climb?
Not exactly.
John isn't my opponent. He's my... But there is something you could help me with.
Salve Domine.
Should I find out for you?
Let me make this clear.
Very good, then.
Thank you, brother.
What do you want?
I'd be interested to hear about...
I'd like... Who's in... And what... Tell me... Can you tell me...
7 centuries ago, the fund...
Do you know... I'm... It... What are the... What can you... I'm... Can you...
Where would you go? You have everything you need.
Is there...
What would you like to do?
Not exactly.
But there is...
That doesn't...
Pity.
I'm in...
You're not...
Why? What's wrong with it?
Many brothers think more about their stomach.
That's all.
Peace be with you. What troubles you?
I'm telling you, someone's been...
What is it, bro?
Here's the book you wanted.
Amazing. This really is it. Now I can use it to prepare a cure. There'll be no investigation. It would be against his best interests. I said, is there anything I...
How can a novice get out of the monastery?
And what would you do out there?
I'd be interested in...
That's a strange wish you have. And the only ones who know everything about it, they keep a record of every monk in the abbot's book. But you'll never get your hands on it. It's locked up in the prior's study.
Thanks. You've helped me immensely.
No, thank you. About that book, don't even think about breaking in to get it.
Someone's been creeping around in the corridor at night. Oh, what am I saying, creeping? He was stomping about like a bear.
That must have been Brother Suppose.
What do you do?
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
My name's Greg.
You can call me Siskin. Now, are you...
Did you say Pug?
You'll see soon.
Will you...
Look.
Are you hiding? I'm hiding aloud. I hate to think of... And also because I really hate the question, aren't you... I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approach. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? But you didn't have to... No, not if I didn't mind being left to... They must have realized you robbed them. I donated some of the silver to the monastery when I came in, And you stashed away... Indeed, sir. What's your plan? To get out of here as soon as I can. I'll wait another... That's all I... Please, keep it... Will you tell me something? Look, nothing against... Very well. Thank you. I'm still curious about this treasure trove of yours. It's no big, terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean, at other times, I don't get to read what I like. And I keep it under the slab so the others don't find it. I'll leave you be. Thank you. And please... I'm still curious... It's no big, terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean, at other times, I don't get to... Actually, there's something I'm here to find someone, and, well, to do away with him. What's he doing here? They call him Pious because he used to be a priest. When he found out a lot of... They sent me here to find him and bring him to justice. So we have one outlaw and one assassin. Well, that's just it. I won't tell you more. And You're talking about killing in the monastery. Would you do that? I have a feeling you wouldn't. You're right. I'll keep it to myself. I've got... Thank you, sir. How is it that you don't get any... I've paid off the circators to turn a...
I'd be interested... Tell me about
Oh, if there was a monk I'd recommend as a friend, with, of course, the exception of myself.
That's all. Who would you elect?
Most likely Nevlas. The monastery will still be a monastery, no matter...
I'd like to ask you... Well, that's all.
What troubles you?
Is it possible to learn some...
Only the abbot and...
And can I see them?
No. The abbot...
I found this piece of parchment.
Ovid? What is that?
Not what, but who? Ovid was a great Roman poet. Now I believe I can guess what happened.
Brother Eustace, may the earth rest lightly on him, was quite narrow-minded when it came to classical literature. If a book had any mention of woman at all, he condemned it as a heretical work. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned. Ovid's The Art of Love must have been such a thorn in his side that he stole it from the library, tore it up, and hid the pages wherever he could.
Can you tell me something?
The Art of Love is a sort of manual,
Where should I look?
If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you to do it. Absolutely. Eustace's wits were... I imagine he hid them throughout the monastery.
Good.
Thank you, brother. It's of no great importance, but if you...
I found a few pages of the...
Wonderful.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus. Salve Domine.
I'm Gregor.
I know. I saw you.
What does that mean?
I make sure everyone...
when it's not...
Then we're authorized to meet.
About...
Ask me.
Tell me...
Nevertheless is weak and toothless.
I'd like to...
Well, the young brothers... Never...
I'd like to help...
I'm convinced Nevertheless must have done something that would greatly damage him if everyone found out.
So, I should...
Exactly. But I doubt...
Once I find something out... Thank you for answering.
Someone really reeked at Matins.
You're right. It stunk like a wine barrel in there. And it's not the first time.
What would you like?
Who would you...
The old abbot isn't dead yet?
Are there ever any...
Unfortunately, yes. The biggest quarrels right now are...
Tell me...
The old abbot is
Tell me...
John is...
I'd like to know about...
Nevertheless manages the although perhaps he's...
Why does it...
Because the future direction of... The older brothers take a different view.
I thought politics...
You're right.
Things you say.
Now they hurt again, but worse than last time. I tell you, something is going to happen out there. You might be wrong, and besides, God will be our protector.
Peace be with you.
The forbidden books must be in that cabinet.
Contains forbidden books. Oh, you're interested in what's inside? Forbidden books, written by the devil himself. Forget about them. Don't even look at that cabinet. It contains forbidden books.
Greetings, brother.
Greetings to you, brother.
Trouble?
You're young, perhaps in temp.
I'm interested. What can you...
Oh,
Sound...
I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
Do you know...
Only that he came to the monastery voluntarily. He's always happy.
Listen.
Ha! I knew it! Oh, it's bit.
Never mind that. Who's a...
That's Siskin. I always thought...
You mean his not going to morning...
So you know...
Today's food.
Ah, you've got the wrong end of it.
You think so?
That's what I'm trying to find.
What do you got?
Themselves and give us the slop that's left over.
I don't know yet.
You should talk to the Circators, or the Prior.
I remember back when we ate like kings.
Who would you...
Why do you...
I'm just thinking.
I like
Those
John.
were the days.
Can you tell...
I would if the...
Why did you join...
Because it was better than living... You know what?
You've seen us drinking here, so either join in or swear you won't tell a soul. You won't want to...
I don't want to drink with you, but I promise...
You youngsters have got no backbone. Still, remember what you promised. One word about this and we'll make your life hell. Praise be to Christ.
What are you doing?
What does it look like?
But...
Youngster.
But you're the Circators.
If you really want to...
All right.
Quite right, brother. Just sit down and drink with us. When the wine runs out, Yodok will fetch more. I'll say one thing, brother. This wine would grace the Pope's table.
I'm not so sure. It's a bit sour. God knows what's in it.
Don't be absurd. It's a first-class cask, direct from Znojmo.
No, I know the taste of a good vintage, and this isn't it. What is it, bro?
You mentioned Yodok.
Well, nothing much. She's just a little suckling.
Where'd you get the wine from? I thought the monastery cellars were guarded.
So they are. But this wine isn't from the... Listen, lad, would you help?
I'll help you.
Ha! I knew it. Help novice your...
All right.
About you and the...
Ask me.
I'd like to help.
I am convinced Neville's...
So, I'm sorry.
Here, wait.
Thank you for... What did you...
Dig up some dirt.
What trouble?
I'd like... Are there ever any...
Unfortunate.
I understand.
I'll be going, bro. Thanks, bye.
As you will. I'll say one thing, brother. This wine would grace the Pope's table.
I'm not so sure. It's a bit sour. God knows what's in it.
Don't be absurd. It's a first-class cask, direct from Znojmo.
No, it isn't. It's sour. No matter. We'll get more soon. So, good health.
Good health.
We'll have to take that Yodok to task about where he got this wine and tell him next time he'd better get proper Znojmo.
No, get off. Let me sleep.
God be with you.
Ah, Greg. What is it, brother?
I'm looking for...
And what?
I'm looking for...
Lock?
I'd like to practice...
Well, why? So you heard I used to be a burglar, did you? I put it all behind me as soon as I took the vows. I'll trade them for food. Get me a bite to eat, and you can have your lockpicks. Can't save...
Why aren't you sleeping? What are you doing here?
Shouldn't you be getting your rest and not wandering about like a ghost?
What trouble?
You have...
What's that attack?
So you turn...
I said about without?
No one. I'd like to... Who would you...
I've thought long and...
Who's it?
Abbot Peter is...
And what happens when...
Then...
Are there...
Yes, there are. On...
Brother, I've a favour to ask.
I see.
Well, yes.
That won't be easy, I can...
How could I get...
With great difficulty.
Is there any...
The door out of the monastery is like any other. Only the lock's more...
Could you...
Rob?
You wouldn't be...
Then what could you possibly...
How much would you want?
A princely sum.
That much? What?
Precisely.
I'm looking...
Lock?
On what?
I'm Gregor. And you... Luke. I'd like... What... Not... You really don't know any...
Don't get upset.
I'd like... Do you know any...
I don't. He...
Tell me about...
I'd like to, but...
Are you joking?
Why?
I'd have thought you might want to know.
Don't get up.
In the night, I overheard the cicada.
Oh, no.
Lucas, what's...
What do you think?
We should report...
I agree.
I warned them if they didn't stop, I'd go and tell the prior. But instead of...
You've picked the wrong people to make...
Is there something I can do?
Would you? I think all it might take is for you to go and...
I'm not afraid of...
Brother, may the grace...
There's something...
You're looking for someone?
I am a novice.
Why would you...
I'm looking for a foot...
Because
you could help me.
That can't be.
Talk to him. Do you have any idea?
I don't...
If you...
But I can't vote.
Will you tell me?
I
mean, where... Come on.
I could. What has...
I think that you're the man.
What are you...
I am.
But
I'll leave you in peace.
You're a madman.
Will you... I mean, you see,
You're...
I am a novice.
What?
I'm looking for a... Because you could help.
That...
I don't know.
It won't...
Do you have any...
I don't...
This is not...
Not now, bro.
Cease this disgraceful behavior.
Halt! Brother, stealing is...
I've had enough.
You damn...
Yeah.
You fa...
You are...
Brother, you were somewhere you shouldn't have been. You... Brother, you were somewhere you should...
Very...
Next time we'll get the honor to bring some.
Peace be with you, brother. What trouble?
Brother Sir...
What would...
No, I'm here because...
Only because...
I'd appreciate...
If he isn't afraid of...
He hate...
Beware.
What do you mean?
He's a Talk to...
Brother Sir...
What would you...
No, I'm...
Only because...
I'd appreciate...
Well, if he is...
He hate...
Fine. Beware.
What do you mean?
He's a...
Talk to me, bro.
Peace be with you, brother.
I'm a new brother, and not...
Welcome amongst us. Yes. How'd you like it here?
I don't know.
You're too humble.
I need to tell
me, son.
It's about some of the brothers.
Are you certain?
Would you like me...
That won't be necessary. I'll...
The Circators.
The Circators? That can't be true.
If you go to the cell...
I'll look into it. I most certainly won't tolerate drinking or dice games in the monastery. Thank you for letting me know, brother. It appears you're an honest and faithful...
You're welcome, brother. I'm a new...
Well, how'd you...
I don't... I've heard you...
Yes, I do. Just as it... Talk to me.
Will you tell me...
Of course.
Anyone can...
Precise. I...
From the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to read. After the 6th hour, having left the table, let them rest on their beds in perfect silence, or if anyone may be absent to read.
I'm Gregor. And you...
Luke.
I'd like to... What can you... I'd like to know... Do you know... Tell me... And then, Lucas, what? We should... Is there some...
Would you? I think all it might...
I'm not a... There's something I should...
You're...
I'm... I don't know. If you... I'd like... Well, that's all.
Expounding the Lord's commandments in
What is it?
the intelligent among his disciples.
I'd...
But demonstrate
Who's... And what...
precepts by
Are there...
for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know...
I need to...
You're not the only one. Well, I can't.
I'm looking for...
Lock?
Than another, unless it be one whom he finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Priest of silence, the well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient character.
Brothers, no, I'd appreciate...
Beginning of the ill.
He hates...
Stripes and other bodily punishments. Knowing that it is written, the fool is not corrected with words. And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver...
I spoke...
Really?
The rule of Saint Benedict.
But you have to promise...
That's a... Because now I know I can trust... I wouldn't like to say something that isn't true. God...
What makes you say that?
He claims he's a merchant's son from Vlashim, and that he joined the order voluntarily. The thing is, I spent a great deal of time in Vlashim. I know it like the back of my hand. And no one even remotely like Antonius has ever lived there.
Are you sure? Because this could mean that...
It's true, or Canute isn't my name. That would be my secular name.
Thank you for telling me. I've heard that...
What?
The cicadas...
They'll never... Yes.
You're right.
I'm glad. I swear to God. My guilt...
Will you tell...
I
mean, wait... Come on.
What had...
For that reason, if anything has to be asked of the superior, it should be asked with all the humility and submission inspired by reverence. But as for coarse jests... The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on daily manual labor. Idleness
What?
is the enemy of the soul. Therefore,
I'm still... It's no...
occupied at certain times in manual
What kind of a... I found it here. It's the Necronomicon. Who knows what... Oh.
Each
Fred.
may be prescribed as follows.
You're... I'm glad you were just...
Easter until the calends of the Toad.
Actually...
When they come out from primary...
In them... How marvellous. Siskin? I thought it... If the circade... That's not how it... I know.
And from the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply
I'll be in.
themselves to read.
I'm interested...
What could interest you?
That doesn't sound...
It wasn't...
What can...
It's a tricky situation.
That's all.
Or if anyone may perhaps want to read, let him read to himself
Talk
in
to
such a way as not to disturb anyone.
I was...
Hey,
None e'er be said rather early.
I'd like to...
to get hold of the one... If wine started going missing here... So,
Wait a moment.
you see why...
But you've done it once...
Last time...
Should be assigned a task or craft
How
of such a nature
I don't know.
to keep them
Do you think he'll want...
No.
at the same time
Once you have the key...
burden them or drive them away with excessive
About the...
Did you get...
their weakness must be taken
Yes?
into
In that case...
by the abbot. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the spirit of silence. Let us do what the prophet said.
Praise.
I said, I will guard my ways.
I've discovered...
I may not sin with my tongue. I have set a guard to my mouth.
The older brothers are picking...
It seems that now...
Silence even from good things. Here the prophet shows
The
that
circadian...
spirit of
I
silence
thought so.
ought to lead us at times to refrain even
Brother
from good
Yodok
speech.
has been...
Yodok?
So
I don't
much
know,
the
and...
more
No matter.
That's all I know.
If you find out in it...
avoid evil words. Therefore,
I'm in...
since the
You're not
spirit of
Why, what's wrong?
silence is
Me-
so important,
That's all.
permission to
Peace
speak
be with
should rarely be granted even to perfect disciples, even though it be for good, holy, edifying conversation. For it is written, in much speaking you will not escape sin. And in another place, death and life are in the power of the tongue. For speaking and teaching belong to the master. The disciple's part is to be silent and to listen. And for that reason, if anything has to be asked,
Praise be to...
it should be asked with all the...
What did you... Dig up some dirt on Nevlus.
But as for coarse jests and idle words, or words that move to laughter, these we condemn everywhere with a perpetual ban. And for such conversation we do not permit a disciple to open his mouth. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the abbot. Therefore, when anyone receives the name of abbot...
You've got a strong constitution.
What?
Let me tell you a little. Once upon a time, there was a young boy, but he wasn't truly bad. His former friends didn't take... The boy wasn't stupid. He didn't expect the beast...
It was you.
Don't take it personal. You know, we're both pawns in someone else's... I was a bandit. And what I saw at Nyhoff made me realize my life was worth shit.
So the evil...
Both of us...
You're right.
They won't. Before we make a run for it, we'll make it look like there will split.
Good.
Good.
What do...
How else?
Do you mean...
What?
And where...
You'll find...
What are you... All right.
X and Gregor.
The rule of Saint Benedict.
Talk to me, brother.
Readings on the abbot. Therefore,
I've heard your...
when
Yes,
anyone
why do you
receives
ask?
the name of abbot,
And more importantly, where did you hear it?
Because I've heard otherwise. You...
And who told you that?
That is to say, he should show them all that is good and
In
holy.
and why
by his
I only...
deeds even
I know,
more
brother.
than by his words.
Even
Expounding the Lord's
life, really?
commandments
They
in
became
words
lies.
intelligent
Thanks for the...
to
That's up to you.
his disciples. But demonstrating
Talk to me.
divine precepts by his
I know
actions
you're
with those
pious.
hard
So you're finally sure?
ruder minds.
Tell me, Gregor, or Carl, or whatever your true name is.
And what he is called.
I don't know.
That to whom
Well, at least you're prepared to think and not just play blood.
I don't want to be like the people I'm looking for. If I have...
You know, we're both pawns in someone else's game. I was a bandit. What I saw at Nyhoff made me realize...
So the evildoer...
Both of us can leave this
shut his
place.
eyes to the faults of offenders, but since he has
What if I wanted...
You could kill another novice, I suppose. If news of the murder got out from the monastery, my former friends might believe I'm dead. But I'm offering you a solution that doesn't require any killing. Before we make a run for it, we'll make it look like someone's killed. There will split up.
The first and second time. But bold,
Good.
hard,
Good.
proud and disobedient characters, he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments.
What are you...
I need to get ready for a long...
What do I need?
How else will we get?
Do you mean these?
What?
And again,
And where am I?
You'll find a parchment in the kitchen with a...
deliver his soul from
All right.
Excellent. And Gregor?
of Saint Benedict. Readings on daily. task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness and at the same time
Ah.
I'm here to...
Excellent. I've been waiting for it. Today it's your task to once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere... Praise be to...
I finished my...
Show me what... Spectacular, great...
What?
Brother, what are you doing here?
I had other...
Really? I'll protect...
What did you...
Dig up...
Praise be to our Lord.
Brother, what are you doing?
I was...
Really? This time?
What is it?
I'm...
I know.
What, you do?
It is my... What would you like?
I'd like to...
Can't you see it?
Get away from that cabinet. The book... Praise be...
I'm here.
Good. This is most likely the first... Here's the original, and...
No.
Talk to me.
To refrain even from good speech. So much the more.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus. I've read one of the manuscripts copied by one of the novels.
Peace be with you, brother.
But as for coarse jests and idle words, or words that move to laughter, these we condemn everywhere with a perpetual ban. And for such conversation, do not permit a disciple to open his mouth.
What is it?
You have... So you turn...
I said it without...
No what? I'd like... Who would...
And...
I'm...
Lock...
On...
What? Say...
A monk's got no business out here. What happened to your vow?
Aren't you meant to be?
A monk's got... What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
You're playing truant.
What's that? Hey, you! Hey, don't move a finger! Surrender!
Right,
I've got you. You should have done. What's that?
Just my luck. Look, I...
You think... What's going on? Well, I never... Aleto. Shit. Ow. You fucking dog. Oh.